Let's talk about adjusting the camera and some of the imaging options. So to do that, let's open up the chess scene again. Okay, and again I'm going to move this down. Adjust our device manager. And click on the chess set. Now what we want to do is click on this little icon here that's the preview imager. This sets the exposure. We can adjust the exposure and darken and lighten the scene. But this is also where we can adjust our depth of field adjustment and give us some great photographic qualities to our render. Currently it's set on AF mode, which means that whatever is directly in the middle of the image will be in focus. I want to change to the camera, and one of the things we can do is we can adjust our field of view, so we can adjust that however we wish. But we can also adjust the aperture, so you can crank up the aperture and you can get a really narrow depth of field and a nice blurring going on. And what will happen, this is whatever is in the center will become the item that's in focus. But we can keep the red piece, let's say, in the middle. And let's say we wanted this piece in the back to be in focus. We could choose the autofocus picker, which allows us to pick the exact focal point in the scene of what we want in focus. So we can adjust that, and if there's too much blur, we can adjust that. We can also adjust the camera position, so if we wanted to rotate the camera, we could choose the up. Use the up x-axis, and we can get a little more interest potentially instead of being locked to where the camera was there. We can also adjust and turn on stereo mode, so if you have anaglyphic glasses, the red-green or whatever, you can see a stereo image in Octane. We're going to go back over to the imager, and we have fully GPU accelerated tone mapping going on, so we can also adjust the vignetting and adjust the color saturation. Again, we can actually turn it all the way off and get a black and white image. So we can adjust the exposure, we can adjust a lot of different, the f-stops and the ISO to get some realistic camera parameters, but we also have some actual measured camera response curves so that you could click one and you can get exactly what the colors and the tonality of that camera. So I highly suggest you try those with your scenes, because there's some just beautifully warm, wonderful camera response curves that can really add a lot of flair to your image just by clicking one of the presets without having to try to adjust a lot of different parameters. So I suggest you explore those. And you continue to tweak and adjust all of your settings until you've found a situation that looks good to you, and let it render out.